7 better alternatives to nursing homes for seniors who want independence and dignity. Have you ever wondered if there's a better way to live than moving into a nursing home? For many people between 60 and 85, the thought of going into a nursing home brings a wave of anxiety. It often feels like a loss of control, a final chapter that's written before you're ready to turn the page. But here's the truth: nursing homes aren't the only option anymore. In fact, more and more seniors are choosing new paths that are not only safer, but also more fulfilling, more respectful, and better suited to how they actually want to live. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 better alternatives to nursing homes. Options that reflect the latest trends in how older adults are choosing to age with dignity, freedom, and support. These aren't just theories. These are real choices people are making today. And maybe by the end of this video you'll find one that feels right for you or someone you care about. Some of these ideas are simple, some are surprising, but all of them are focused on one thing: helping you live the way you want on your own terms. Number 1. Staying in your own home with in-home care. One of the most powerful choices you can make as you get older is simply to stay where you are, right in the home you know and love, but with the right support in place. Many seniors are turning to in-home care not because they can't live alone, but because they want to live well. The idea isn't about losing independence. It's about enhancing it with just enough help to keep everything manageable. This kind of care can include anything from help with cooking, light cleaning, and errands, to more personal care like bathing, dressing, or taking medications on time. For a lot of older adults, being able to sleep in their own bed, sit in their favorite chair, and water their own plants means everything. It's not about luxury. It's about familiarity and control, and these things can make a huge difference in mood, mental clarity, and overall health. Psychologically, the impact of staying in your own home is profound. Studies show that seniors who age in place tend to maintain stronger cognitive function and experience fewer episodes of depression compared to those who move into institutional settings. This isn't just about routine. It's about the brain and heart recognizing what feels safe, comforting, and real. Take someone like Margaret, 78. Her knees aren't what they used to be, and she gets a little forgetful with her medication. But with a home aide who visits 5 days a week for a few hours, she's thriving. She still does her own crossword puzzles in the morning, watches the birds outside her kitchen window, and meets her neighbor for coffee every Sunday. What she needed wasn't a facility, it was a little help right where she was. The beauty of in-home care is that it can be scaled up or down as needs change. Some people start with just weekly visits, while others gradually increase to daily support. It's flexible, respectful, and deeply personal. For many, the choice to stay home with help is more than a preference. It's a way to protect their identity, dignity, and the small pleasures that make life worth living. Number 2. Living with family in a supportive arrangement. Another growing trend is for seniors to live with their adult children, but not in the way you might think. This isn't about giving up your independence or becoming a burden. It's about creating a supportive, two-way relationship where everyone benefits. When done right, multi-generational living brings comfort, care, and connection into daily life. It allows older adults to remain deeply involved in their families' lives without feeling like outsiders or dependents. You might help with the grandchildren, pass down stories, or simply provide a calm, loving presence that brings balance to a busy household. From a psychological standpoint, this kind of living arrangement can help reduce loneliness and increase a sense of purpose. It's not just about being around people, it's about being needed, heard, and appreciated. And that matters a great deal more than many people realize. But here's the key: this only works when boundaries, space, and respect are clearly established. The most successful arrangements are those where each generation honors the needs of the other. You're not moving in to be taken care of, you're moving in to be part of a shared life. Take James, 81. After his wife passed, his daughter invited him to live in a converted space above their garage. He has his own. Number 3. Aging in place with smart home modifications. One of the most empowering solutions seniors are turning to, instead of nursing homes, is aging in place, with a little help from smart planning and thoughtful technology. It's not about staying put out of stubbornness. It's about reshaping your space so it works with you, not against you. More and more older adults are installing stair lifts, non-slip flooring, walk-in tubs, grab bars, and motion sensor lighting, not because they're giving up, but because they want to keep moving safely and independently in their own homes. It's a shift in mindset. Aging in place doesn't mean ignoring change. It means planning for it so you can keep living life on your own terms. And then there's technology. Voice-controlled assistants, medical alert systems, video doorbells, and even automated medication dispensers are helping seniors live alone while staying connected and secure. These aren't luxury items anymore. They're tools for dignity. Psychologically, aging in place protects something priceless: your sense of identity. You stay surrounded by your things, your familiar smells, your history. You sleep in your own bed. That kind of continuity can ground you in a way no institutional setting ever could. Linda, 79, remodeled her home after a fall. At first, she felt embarrassed, like it was a sign she was getting old. But after just a few weeks, she said she felt freer than she had in years. She could shower without fear, get around without asking for help, and go about her day without second-guessing herself. For families, supporting a loved one's choice to age in place can be a beautiful act of respect. It says, "We trust you. We believe in your strength, and we're here to help you live where you feel most like yourself." It's not the easiest path, but it's often the most meaningful. When done with foresight and support, aging in place can restore something that too many older adults feel slipping away: control. Number 4. Multigenerational living with clear boundaries. Another alternative that's gaining momentum, especially in tight-knit families, is multigenerational living. This isn't the old-fashioned idea of moving in with your kids and becoming the built-in babysitter or household helper. The key word here is boundaries. Done right, living with family can actually strengthen relationships rather than strain them. It offers daily companionship, shared responsibilities, and emotional support that's hard to find in institutional settings. But without intentional structure, it can lead to resentment, exhaustion, and a loss of identity. The most successful examples start with open conversations. What are everyone's expectations? Who is responsible for what? What private space is guaranteed for the senior? And just as important, what time and space is off limits to others? Think of it as co-living, not caretaking. Seniors in these homes often help with light chores, offer wisdom to grandchildren, or simply bring a calming presence to a busy household. They're not sidelined, they're integrated. Mary, 83, moved in with her daughter and son-in-law after her husband passed. But she didn't become a background character in their lives. They helped her set up a private suite, respected her morning routines, and involved her in family decisions. They even made her the official storyteller for the children's bedtime. She says she feels needed but not used, supported but not smothered. From a psychological standpoint, multigenerational homes can help seniors feel connected and purposeful. But they also demand mutual respect, patience, and the humility to admit when things aren't working and need adjusting. This isn't about going back to the old way. It's about creating a new way, one that blends tradition with a modern understanding of boundaries and emotional health. Number 5. Independent living communities with on-demand support. A lot of people think the only options are staying home alone or going into a nursing facility. But there's a sweet spot in between: independent living communities that offer freedom with backup, not babysitting. These communities are designed for older adults who can mostly take care of themselves, but want to be somewhere that understands and respects their stage of life. You live in your own space, usually a small apartment or cottage, but you have access to support when you choose, not because someone is checking in every hour. Meals? Available but optional. Social events? They're if you want them. Help with errands or minor medical needs? Just a call away but not breathing down your neck. That's the beauty of it. The big draw is community. Loneliness is one of the quietest threats to health in old age, not because it causes immediate harm, but because over time it eats away at our sense of joy, identity, and even immunity. Being around people in the same stage of life can replace isolation with shared stories, shared laughs, and shared purpose. And don't let the word community mislead you. These places aren't cookie cutter. Some focus on wellness and nature, some on arts and creativity, others on lifelong learning. You can actually choose a place that fits your soul, not just your age. Ron, 78, used to dread retirement. His kids lived hours away, Number 6. Aging in place with smart home technology. There's something sacred about staying in your own home as you grow older. The walls hold your memories. The garden still blooms with flowers your spouse once planted. Everything feels just the way you like it. But the truth is, for many seniors, staying home used to come with real risks. Falls, forgotten medications, and the creeping fear of what if something happens and no one knows? Not anymore. With today's smart home technology, aging in place is no longer a gamble. It's becoming one of the safest, most empowered ways to grow older. And it's not just for tech-savvy people or the wealthy. The newest wave of tools is designed to be easy, affordable, and quietly powerful. Consider fall detection sensors. These aren't the old bulky buttons you had to wear like a necklace. New systems can be installed in your walls or ceilings, detecting motion and alerting family or emergency services if you take a tumble. No button pressing needed. Just quiet, constant safety. Then there are medication reminders that speak to you gently through your speakers, or dispensers that deliver the right pills at the right time. If you forget, your daughter might get a text so she can check in without nagging. Smart lights turn on when you walk into the bathroom at night, reducing the risk of falls. Smart thermostats ensure you don't wake up in a freezing room. Even smart refrigerators can remind you when food is about to expire. This isn't about replacing your independence, it's about reinforcing it. Harold, 81, lives alone since his wife passed. His son was nervous about him staying home, but after installing a smart hub, motion sensors, and a medical alert watch, the whole family felt at ease. Harold didn't feel watched. He felt respected. And that right there is the heart of it. You're not giving up privacy, you're getting back freedom. You're not just managing alone, you're living with confidence. Number 7. Intergenerational living communities. There's a quiet revolution happening in how seniors are choosing to live, and it's not about isolation or silent hallways. It's about connection. More and more older adults are moving into intergenerational communities, where people of all ages live side by side. Not in separated towers, but in neighborhoods built for real life, real exchange, and real belonging. These communities are designed to bring people together through shared spaces, shared meals, and shared experiences. Imagine living in a place where your neighbor might be a young teacher, a single mother, or a college student. Someone who can help carry groceries, share a meal, or just sit and talk. In return, your stories, your wisdom, and your presence bring something grounding and irreplaceable to their lives. It's not charity and it's not dependence. It's mutual benefit. Take Joan, 76, who moved into one of these communities in Oregon, where high school students live in dorm-style housing nearby. Every Thursday, she teaches a small poetry circle. In return, they help her with tech questions, change light bulbs, and keep her up to date on music she never knew she liked. She says it makes her feel alive again. The structure of these neighborhoods often includes community gardens, activity centers, libraries, and walking paths, things that naturally invite interaction. No sterile lobbies. No locked doors keeping people apart. This isn't just good for the heart, it's good for the brain. Studies show that seniors in these environments experience slower cognitive decline and report significantly lower rates of loneliness. And the young people? They become more empathetic, more grounded, and more connected to life beyond their screens. This option isn't about moving away from the world. It's about moving back into it, with purpose. If you've ever felt like you still have so much to give but don't quite know where to place it, this kind of living might be your answer. Because connection isn't just a luxury in old age, it's a form of medicine. And sometimes the best prescription isn't in a bottle. It's in the sound of laughter across a shared dinner table. Final thoughts. Growing older doesn't mean giving up your independence or your dignity. For many of us, the idea of ending up in a nursing home carries a quiet fear we don't often say out loud. The silence, the routine, the feeling of being warehoused instead of seen. But what we've explored today proves there are other ways. Ways that honor your spirit, your choices, and your life story. Whether it's choosing in-home care, living near your adult children on your own terms, joining an independent living community, embracing smart home technology, or becoming part of an intergenerational neighborhood, there is no one-size-fits-all solution. But there is a common thread, the desire to stay human, connected, and in control. You've lived too much life to hand over the keys without thought. So ask yourself, which of these solutions speaks to you most? Which one makes your shoulders drop a little just thinking about it? Because the goal isn't simply to extend your years, it's to make sure those years still feel like yours.